Should you visit Argentina or should you visit Thailand? If you are trying to decide between the two countries, then this video is for you. I'm going to compare both Argentina and Thailand in 12 different categories, and the final category at the end is going to be which one I personally prefer. So let's get into it. The first category is infrastructure. Now, I do think that both of these countries have pretty good infrastructure. All the major cities in both countries have very good Wi-Fi and data connection. Both capitals of Buenos Aires and Bangkok have bus systems. They both have metro systems. There are lots of intercity buses in both countries. I did notice though that highways in Thailand seemed a little bit better. There did seem to be more 3-lane highways in Thailand compared with Argentina, where I noticed most of the highways were just 1 or 2 lanes. Both countries do have train systems, though I would say that Thailand's train system is better and more connected. In Argentina, the train system isn't very good. If you want to take a train from Buenos Aires to Cordoba, the second city, that's about a day-long train trip, whereas the bus journey is about 10 hours. And also, I would say that Thailand is logistically easier than Argentina. Thailand is very lucky in the sense that Bangkok, the capital, is right in the middle of the country, and every major destination in Thailand is connected by flight to Bangkok. So logistically, it's just easier than Argentina, where Buenos Aires, the capital, is in the far east of the country. So let's say, for example, you're in Patagonia and you want to go between 2 different places in Patagonia. It's sometimes cheaper and easier to actually get a flight all the way to Buenos Aires and then get back to the other destination that you wanted to go to. So logistically, Argentina can be a nightmare. So I'm going to have to say that Thailand wins this category. I just think Thailand feels a little bit more modern, and I think the infrastructure is built for tourists a little bit more than Argentina. Now, category number 2 is cost of living. I'm going to get straight to it with this one. Thailand wins this category. Thailand is overall a cheaper country than Argentina. If you go to the north of Thailand, for example, it's going to be very, very challenging for you to get a meal for more than $10. It is really cheap up there. Bangkok is a little bit more expensive, as is Phuket as well, and some of the islands, but overall, Thailand is cheaper. Domestic flights are cheaper, buses are cheaper, accommodation is cheaper, eating out, food, drinks, overall, everything is going to be a little bit more cheaper in Thailand. Of course, in Argentina, there is a massive inflation problem. It's not too expensive, but it is more expensive than Thailand. So now category number 3 is nature. This is a really difficult one. Both Thailand and Argentina have fantastic nature to see. In Thailand, of course, you've got waterfalls, jungles, national parks. You can see elephants, monkeys, of course, too. And in Argentina, the nature is spectacular. You can see some of the most incredible mountains in the world, Patagonia, glaciers in the south. You can go up to the north and see rainbow colored mountains and salt flats. You can go and see penguins in Patagonia. You can even go whale watching. And how could I forget Iguazu Falls, one of the most incredible natural wonders of the world. So I do think that if you are into nature and geography, I do think you'll prefer Argentina. I just think there is more diversity of nature to see in Argentina. So I'm going to say Argentina wins this category. Now, keeping on the theme of nature, category number 4 is beaches. And again, I'm going to go straight to it with this one. Thailand has better beaches, of course. Thailand has all of these fantastic beach destinations: Phuket, Koh Samui, Krabi, Koh Phi Phi. Now, Argentina does have a famous beach destination. It's called Mar del Plata. A lot of Argentinians go there for vacation. I've actually not been there yet. I've heard it's nice, it's a good city, but maybe the beach isn't the best. So Thailand would have to win this one. If you like beaches, go to Thailand. But if you have been to Mar del Plata, do comment below what your thoughts are on Mar del Plata and whether you think it's a good destination. Now, if you are a city kind of person, you will want to pay attention to this category, because category number 5 is cities. Which country offers you the better city? Now, in Thailand, I only went to 2 major cities, the 2 biggest ones, Bangkok and Chiang Mai. Bangkok, big city, lots to do, loud, busy, whereas Chiang Mai is much more chilled, relaxed, peaceful. Now, in Argentina, I went to Buenos Aires, Cordoba, Mendoza and Salta. Just comparing the capitals of Buenos Aires and Bangkok, I do think I prefer Buenos Aires. It's perhaps not as loud and busy and as exciting as Bangkok maybe, but I do think there are more things to do in Buenos Aires. I do think it's a more beautiful city as well. You've got a lot of the European architecture there. Cordoba is really cool too. There's a good nightlife scene there, a lot of young people, a lot of students, because it's a big student city. I did really like Salta too. The architecture is very nice. It did remind me a bit of Eastern Europe in some ways. So I do think that if you are a city person, I feel that Argentina has more to offer. Of course, you've got Bariloche in the south too. You've got Mar del Plata, the beach city that I mentioned before. I think Argentina provides more city destinations than what Thailand does. So I'm going to say Argentina wins this category. Now, category 6 is language barrier. If you only speak English, which country are you going to find life easier in? And the answer to this question is definitely Thailand. Now, not everyone in Thailand can speak English, but everyone in restaurants, bars, hotels, everyone that you're going to meet in your day-to-day life will be able to understand and have some basic English conversation with you. Now, of course, if you are going to be visiting Thailand or living in Thailand as a remote worker, do try and learn some basic Thai just out of respect, but honestly, you don't really need to. You can get by perfectly on just English. Now, compare that with Argentina. Most people just do not speak English. Do not expect people in restaurants, bars and hotels to understand English, because most of them will not. Now, in theory, you probably could survive on just using English and Google Translate all the time. And there are a fair number of English speakers in Argentina, definitely more than Brazil. Barely anyone speaks English in Brazil. But it's just going to be a pain using Google Translate all the time. So definitely learn some basic Spanish. Spanish isn't too hard to learn, so learn some basics and you'll be fine in Argentina. But as for a language barrier, yeah, Thailand's going to be easier for you. So Thailand wins this category. So now category 7, food. Which country has the best food? And for me, the winner has to be Thailand. The food is just spectacular. Some of the best food in the world. This curry that you see here was the first curry I had in Thailand, and wow, it was just incredible. Curries, noodles, pad thai, massaman curry, green curry, red curry, yellow curry. If you're going to the north, definitely try the khao soy. That is phenomenal. And how could I forget mango sticky rice? Definitely have that for dessert. Now in Argentina, they're going to hate me for saying this, the Argentinians, but the food I don't think is the best. They're renowned for their steak, but a lot of the restaurants actually don't season their steak. You can also get empanadas everywhere in the country, which are like these pastries. Milanesa is another popular dish. It's like a schnitzel and they put pizza toppings on top of the schnitzel, so that's quite nice. They do have very good ice cream in Argentina actually, and they also have this thing called alfajores, kind of like a tart cake kind of thing. And also you'll just find a lot of Americanized food, burgers and sandwiches in Argentina. I do think Thailand has just better food, tastier food, more exciting food. I'm going to say Thailand for this category, definitely. But if you do like your wine, Argentina is famous for its wine. I'm not a wine connoisseur. I don't know a lot about wine, but I did try the wine there and it did get me drunk after a few sips, so it must have been pretty good. Now we're up to category number 8, weather and climate. Now, if you're going to Thailand, you're going to have hot weather all year round. There are really 2 seasons, hot and dry and hot and wet. So if you're someone that loves hot and tropical weather, you're going to love Thailand. But if you're someone that hates hot and tropical weather, you're not going to like Thailand. The great thing about Argentina is that because it's such a big country, it means that different areas of the country have different weather systems. So for example, in Buenos Aires, in the winter time there, it is wet and cold, but you can avoid the wet and cold because you can go up to the north, because in the north it's dry during winter and not rainy at all. It's pretty cold at night, but you don't get rain in the winter in the north, whereas in the south, the winters are really cold, harsh and snowy, but in the summertime in the south, the weather is really nice, 20 to 25 degree crisp days. So it really depends on where you are in the country. I really like the fact that Argentina does have 4 seasons, and I like the fact that you can literally get a flight to a different place in the country to change your weather and get the weather that you're looking for. So I'm going to say Argentina wins this category because there are just more weather options for you. Now we're going to talk about safety for category number 9. Now I would say that overall, Thailand is a safer country, so I'm going to have to say Thailand wins this category. Now in Thailand, things like robberies, pickpocketing, mugging are just really unheard of. Now you do hear about things on this island called Koh Tao, which is named as Murder Island, where randomly people have gone missing, but apart from that, you don't really hear about crime in Thailand. You don't hear about people stealing stuff or people holding you at gunpoint. Now of course you should take safety precaution wherever you go in the world, but in Thailand I do think you can get away with being a little bit carefree just because crime isn't really a big thing in Thailand. Now in Argentina, I have heard of stories of people getting their phones stolen. That's a really big one in Argentina. People even being mugged there as well. So you do need to take a bit more care in Argentina. Now, I was fine. Nothing bad happened to me when I was in Argentina, but don't flaunt your wealth about. Don't wear jewelry. Don't show off your expensive iPhones when you're walking down the street. Don't take long walks at night. Do use Uber. All the major cities in Argentina do have Uber. If you do take precaution in Argentina, I think you'll be absolutely fine, but you do need to take precaution in Argentina. In Thailand, you can kind of get away with it a little bit. So I do think Thailand is definitely safer. Now then, we're up to category number 10, nightlife. This is a really tough one. I think Argentina and Thailand are 2 of the best nightlife destinations perhaps in the world. Now, if you are someone that likes a big cheesy night out, you know, hitting the town, going to the bars and the clubs, cheesy pop music, dancing, getting drunk all night long, that kind of stuff, I think Thailand is probably a better option for that. Obviously, Thailand is a massive backpackers destination, so you've got lots of backpackers, lots of young people there for a good time, not a long time, being silly, getting drunk. So that kind of vibe is Thailand. But I do think if you prefer serious nightlife, so live bands, music, techno raves, theatre performances, bars, cocktail bars, speakeasies, that kind of stuff, I think Argentina does that better. So for this category, I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to say it really depends on what your vibe is. So now we're up to the penultimate category, category 11. Which country has the friendlier locals? This one is going to be a little bit controversial. Now, Thailand is known as the land of smiles, and in Thailand, I found the people there to be very polite, friendly, warm, but I do think that the neighbouring countries of Vietnam and Cambodia were a little bit friendlier than Thailand. It's not that I found Thai people to be rude. As I said before, I think they're really polite and warm, but I do think that Thai people kind of keep themselves to themselves. They don't really want to mingle and interact with foreigners, or at least people who don't immerse themselves in the culture and the language. However, in Argentina, even with a language barrier, you can tell that Argentinians are just more social. They're more inquisitive. They like to meet new people. They like to be social. I just think Latinos in general like to meet people from different countries and cultures and get to know them. Whereas in Thailand, I think people just kind of keep reserved and kind of keep out of the way of tourists a little bit. So I do think that both countries are pretty friendly, but if you can learn a bit of Spanish, I do think you will feel more warmth from the Argentinian people. And I do think you'll have a better social life. I think it will be easier for you to make friends in Argentina compared with Thailand, where the locals aren't really too interested in having foreign friends. So for category 11, I am going to say Argentina wins this one. Now we're up to the final category, category 12. Which one do I prefer? It's really difficult. They're both great countries, two of my favorites, as I said before. But before I make my decision, do drop a comment below if you have been to both Argentina and Thailand. Do let me know which one you personally preferred and why. It will help out other viewers who are watching this video decide as well, because they'll get to see your opinion and my opinion too. But as for my opinion, it's a difficult one. Look, I love Thai food. The food in Thailand is incredible. I would honestly go back to Thailand just to eat the food. However, I think overall, I'm more of an Argentina guy. I just could see myself living in Argentina more than Thailand. I like the people in Argentina. I think it's quite easy to meet people and make friends. There are many places I want to go in Argentina that I have not already been to. To me, Argentina feels very homely. In a weird kind of way, Argentina reminds me of like a Latin American version of the UK. I'm from the UK, by the way. And although Thailand does have better food and it is cheaper, Thailand just doesn't have that homely feel that I get when I go to Argentina. So I would say personally, for me, Argentina, but for you it could be Thailand. So do let me know in the comment section if you are planning to come to either Argentina or Thailand sometime soon. It will be interesting to see if you have any trips booked or planned already. But if you have not booked your trip yet and you're trying to decide between Thailand and Argentina, hopefully this video has helped you out and hopefully this video has given you some direction. So if it has, do click the like button. Hopefully you found it useful. Also do subscribe to the channel for more travel content and hit the notification bell so that you get notified for all of my latest videos. So thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in my next video.